Hello there, and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks with Ungainly Titan. We're here in Erlenberg Blizzard, and I'm in the Tier 7 Soviet tank destroyer, the IS. It's a Tier 9 game, but it's just about Tier 9. There's one Tier 9 on each side. It is, however, a very strongly Tier 8 game. We're on Erlenberg Blizzard, and well, some people on the forums definitely object very strongly to the weather variants. I don't mind as long as I don't get them too often. Too many weather variants in a row can be pretty tiresome, particularly if you're on medium or light tanks, because the vision review range can be really impact very heavily on you if you're in the tanks that are expected to do the scouting. I've actually, in some ways, I often said I preferred Erlenberg Blizzard to the regular Erlenberg because you can do more. You can actually get into positions that you can't utilize in this map normally because the map's very exposed, and this is a huge impact to the gameplay. Now, the team has actually decided to push west quite strongly, which is unusual. And I don't know if they'd have done it in the non-Blizzard variant. The other advantage, of course, you can come back along the ice, which gives you more cover from the top of the hill and the castle area doing this kind of attack than you would in the normal game. A couple of enemy tanks pushed east kind of aggressively and are regretting the decision, particularly that CDC, who ran into a whole mob of tanks. And I've kind of stopped here at the corner, and they're engaging with the STA-1. Now, I decided to push up. I don't really have any hope of doing anything much against an STA-1 if it's anywhere reasonably well played. However, if I push up and there aren't too many other tanks around, I can get a reasonable chance of picking up assistance and spotting damage, because I do have a lot of friends with me on this particular occasion. So far, I haven't picked any up, but I've just spotted a few tanks here on the hill behind the farmhouse. I'm not in a position to shoot at them. I would have to come over the ridge far too much for comfort. And I've been picking up some spotting ribbons from them. I also noticed there's a mutant here in front of me, and he's pretty much on his own against a Tier 9 and a Tier 8 tank, and he's pretty much outclassed by both of those. So I'm going to push forward to give him some assistance. Then I noticed there was a tank on my right flank, so I decided to come over the top and put a round into the top of the Tiger. But as I was backing up, somebody just blocked my retreat, and I started taking damage from both of them. That Centurion 7-1 could pick me apart in double quick time, so I decided my best bet for survival was actually to drive through. The mutant is doing the right thing. He's face-hugging the Tiger and using his very strong frontal armor to protect himself. So that keeps the Tiger's attention and just leaves me with the Centurion 7-1. Fortunately for me, that Centurion did not have the 105mm gun, or I wouldn't be around now. He's had the 20-pounder. Looks like he's the top turret, so he's probably got the B-type barrel. So he's decent enough penetration, but he's only doing 230 or damage or thereabouts. So we finished off both of those, and I've now picked up 8 spotting ribbons and 4 damage ribbons of my own, which is pretty respectable when you're bottom tier. Now we're 4 tanks up, and we're commanding the northern side of the map fairly strongly, and we're pushing down south. Now I wasn't probably going to penetrate that ho with any kind of ammunition, and at this point I started thinking about what I'm going to do next, because I have very few hit points left, and the fight for the castle can be quite a tough one, and I probably didn't really want to get involved. And I noticed that we have pretty much lost the eastern side of the map, so I decided to go and make my way into the centre. If other people do the spotting around the cap circle, I should be able to pick off between the houses opportunities to reset the cap and damage enemy tanks that are revealed. Now, as tanks move towards the cap circle, discovered that there is still a surviving tank destroyer on the hill where we started out from, and he's being closed in by an IS-3 at the moment. Since there are tanks in contest in the cap circle, I've decided to try and prioritise helping that tank destroyer. I'm not the best tank for doing it because Russian accuracy, but if I do land a shot, it's going to penetrate. So we fire APCR because it's an IS-3 and they're pretty heavily armoured. The IS-3 is tracked, so now it's making it easier for me to pick my spot and put a round into him. Don't get a very high damage roll, and then I should really have been prioritising the T-34 because that's behind the AT-15 and therefore more likely to destroy the AT-15, whereas an AT-15 in front can take care of itself against the tank that's facing it, because the armour is quite strong, and if the driver knows what he's doing, he's able to wiggle the tank, and his gun is pointing in that direction, so which is a pretty decent gun with a very high rate of fire. Now I don't have any premium ammo left, so penetrating an AT-15 from the side is problematic, which is why I switched to HE. However, as I did, the AT-15 drops out of spotting range. It's not spotted by me anymore, and that high explosive hits a fence or something really close to me. It doesn't actually go anywhere near the target. So I might as well drive closer. There's fewer and fewer enemy tanks left, so the risk is lower and lower. There's a Tiger 131 is joining the tank destroyer in the cap circle, and I'm trying to get a position, and I'm hoping that spot will go away. If the Tiger spotted me, I think as it was coming down. The AT-15 is gone. I don't seem to have a clean shot at the Tiger. Tiger's moved forward and I can get a clean shot through the window, so I put one through the window and then the Tiger is taken out, and that's the end of the game. So we have game over, we have victory, we almost managed to cap as well. Did a reasonable amount of damage and got a reasonable amount of spotting damage for bottom tier, so 2,110 damage. 1259 assisted, first class mastery, a satisfactory result overall. We came first by experience. 1697, reasonable enough for the ranges we were engaged at and with Russian guns. So I'm happy enough with this result. I hope you enjoyed the video, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.